Hey guys, Bethany here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do this classic retro kind of 1940s inspired bride makeup look. So this is what I came up with. It's very simple. I don't use false lashes. You can if you want, but it's just something that's going to be a lot more on the natural / authentic side versus the really crazy kind of retro stuff that you see these days. So if you're interested in this look, please keep on watching. Alright, so I went ahead and already applied my foundation, and I just used my NARS Tinted Moisturizer with some pressed powder on top like I did in my last video, the 5-minute summer face. And the reason why I did that is just because I'm going to be going to work and I don't need a full coverage foundation for that. But I definitely recommend if you are using this look for your wedding or someone else's, to use a better foundation, like an actual foundation, depending on how natural you really want it to be. If you want it to be super natural, you're not worried about, like it kind of slightly wearing off a little bit, you could totally go with this type of thing. But if you do want something that's going to last all day but still look like pretty close to your skin, I would recommend either the Revlon Color Stay. Definitely make sure you get the combo oily. It works better than the normal dry, but this is awesome. I've used it, I think, on a bride. I can't remember for sure, but it is very, very good. So highly recommend that. Or if you want to go with something a little bit more, maybe not quite as heavy, I would recommend the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and this I have used on a bride and it really looked so good on her. It was just very like dewy kind of looking without being greasy, and very natural and nice. So either one of those I highly recommend for a inexpensive foundation, if that's what you're into. If you do want something more spendy, I'm sure there's plenty of things out there that would work just as good or better, so it's totally up to you. Okay, so with the face completely done, I'm going to go ahead and start with the eyes, and I'm using an eyeshadow base. I'm using the Palladio Herbal Eyeshadow Primer, and I found that this one works pretty good. It's definitely not as good as the Urban Decay Primer Potion or the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, which are essentially the same thing, but like I said, this is just something that I have on hand, so if you do want something that is going to last longer, better quality, I would go for probably the Too Faced, because I think you get more bang for your buck with that one. So, oh, I haven't put eyeshadow on in so long, guys. This is so weird. I've had a bunch of problems with my eyelids, getting like dry skin or eczema or something, and so it's very rare when I'm able to actually use eyeshadow. Alright, so I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to start with a base, and I'm going to use the Cargo palette, the Essential palette in dark neutral. I use this all the time because I love it. I mean, all the time in my videos. I don't really use it all the time because, like I said, I don't wear eye makeup that much. But I'm going to use the Brow Bone color, which is a really light beige. And I'm just going to pack this on my entire lid area from the lash line all the way to the eyebrow. So my inspiration for this picture, or for this look, is Ava Gardner, and I looked at quite a few pictures of her from her weddings, because she was married a few times, and just from other photos as well, and I just kind of got a general idea of the kind of makeup that she wore, which is mostly in the 40s, which is my favorite era for retro makeup. It's definitely not going to be your average retro makeup because I'm not doing like the crazy, I'm not going to do crazy eyeliner, huge false lashes, nothing like that. This is definitely more of a natural, well, I should say more subtle look, which I prefer, so you can always make it a little more intense or dramatic if that's the look that you want to go for. Okay, the next color I'm going to go for is a kind of a shimmery gold. This is Honey from Urban Decay. This is their deluxe palette. And this is really an optional choice. You can use kind of whatever neutral color that you want to use. I just really like the gold. It's just kind of a little bit, I don't know, classy, kind of different. I used this on one of my friends for her wedding, and it looked really pretty. So it's not gonna show up quite as dark as it did just now, because I'm putting it on top of that shadow, which is what I want, because I don't want it to be, really crazy looking. So I'm just using my Eco Tools eyeshadow brush, and just gonna once again pack this on just the eyelid from the lash line to the crease. And in the 40s, they probably had mostly matte eyeshadows. So if you want it to be really authentic, that's what you should go for. But we're going to make this a little bit more modern by using some shimmer. Alright, and then I just flip the brush up and just kind of flick it in the crease a little bit. So I blend that up in there a little bit. Okay, and then the last eyeshadow we're going to go in with is just a light crease color. I'm going to use the crease shade from this palette. You could go with something more on the warm side, like the lid color if you want. It's really up to you, but I would recommend maybe using more of a matte shadow for this part, or a satin that doesn't really have too much shimmer, because we've got some shimmer already going on. So this is the Red Earth crease brush. I'm not sure if they make this anymore, but you can find one similar by Sonia Kashuk or MAC, whatever you have available. So I'm just lightly going in the crease with this. And then just take a little bit on the outer corner. Okay, moving on to eyeliner now. I'm using the Bobbi Brown gel eyeliner in black ink. You could use the MAC Black Track fluid line if you want, or whatever kind of gel you have. You could also use a pencil or a liquid if that's easier for you or that's what you have. It's just really about the black liner, and I find this to be the easiest to work with, the most kind of authentic looking as well. So using the Bobbi Brown Ultra Fine Eyeliner brush for it. And you just kind of put it on the back of your hand and work it into the brush from there, so it warms up really well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and probably, well, I'll show you a little bit, but then I'll make this go faster. Alright, so I'm just going to do a pretty thin line on the top. And you can make it a bit thicker on the outer, like as you go out as well. Kind of made that a little funky though. And then you can definitely extend it slightly from your natural lash line. We'll kind of get a little flick going on. And like I said, at this point, it's totally up to you how much liner, how thick you want it. It really is up to you. This is my preference. This is what I like and what I think is going to be the most, like, authentic to at least the 40s. But that's just from the pictures I've seen, the movies I've watched, not that I've actually lived in the 40s. It'd be pretty sweet though. Okay, so that's what I came up with. I'll probably go over it once again just to make it a little bit darker, and then I will do the other side as well. Okay, so once the liner is done, it's time to move on to the eyebrows. And I've been growing mine out kind of lately, so they're might be a little crazy, but 40s tend to have more fuller eyebrows anyway. So I'm just using my MAC Concrete eyeshadow to fill them in slightly. Brushing through with a clean spoolie. I'm going to set with my Prestige Brow Gel. It's just clear. Alright, so now is the mascara slash false lashes part. I'm not putting false lashes on because I'm going to work, like I said, but you definitely can if you want to. If you want something that's pretty 40s-esque, I would go for something a little bit more natural than the everyday lashes that you see. But I mean, the types of lashes people wear these days, which are usually kind of crazy. So if you want something natural, I would go for that for the more classic 40s look, but otherwise, you know, you can totally do really whatever you want. It's up to you. So I'm applying the Prestige My Biggest Lashes mascara. I'm just going to make sure I really coat the lashes well, but still keeping it within one coat. Now I put just a touch on the bottom lashes, just keeping it really close to the base. Alright, so the eyes are finished now, and my favorite blush is going to be used, which is the Elle Powder Blush in Tweak. It's a really bright red, almost got a hint of pink to it, but I love this, love this, love this. I used to, when I loved doing this kind of makeup, the 40s kind of esque, I used to just be on the hunt for a red blush because nobody had like a matte red blush. I found one by Mary Kay, but it was really old and kind of gross. But then Elle came out, and then this blush, and I was like, oh my gosh, so I love it. Anyway, I'm going to be using my Posh Angle blush brush, and I just kind of make this weird fish face because I don't really have cheekbones that you can see, so don't mind me. But you definitely want to keep it more on kind of the cheekbone area if you want it to be pretty authentic. And I'm sure on your wedding you'll be getting pictures, so blush is one thing that you probably want to apply a little bit extra of, at least for the pictures, because it won't tend to really show up too well unless you have enough on there. So that's just one thing you want to be aware of. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and take my powder brush and just kind of gently blend over that so we don't have too much or no harsh lines or anything. So now, the lips. This is, once again, I'm doing something different than I normally would recommend, so I'll tell you what I recommend, and that would be to start off with a lip pencil. The MAC Cherry is great for a red. I'm not sure if they make it anymore, but any kind of really red lip pencil is great. So I would line your lips, and I would fill them in. Then, well, first make sure they're somewhat moisturized so that you don't have dry and flakiness going on. But you don't want them to be really, really moisturized because then it will not stay on. So then you use your matte, I would say a matte red because that will last the longest. And I recommend the MAC Russian Red. It's definitely more on the cool side. It doesn't really look like it in the tube. Maybe it depends on your lip color, like your natural lip color, but find a red that, you know, works really well for you. And I do have a video completely dedicated to red lips, and you can check that out if you want more ideas on how to find that perfect red shade. But this is mine, so I love that. So I would apply the lip liner, filling your lips, apply this, blot it once with a tissue, and then apply a little bit more, and use a lip brush while you're doing that. Use a lip brush to apply the lipstick with, because that's going to give you the best application. So that being said, I'm not going to do it because I want to be able to take this off in a couple minutes. So I'm using the Clinique lipstick in Red, 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 which is a very bright red. It's definitely not matte, but it is just going to give me that classic look for the photos for this look for you guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this straight from the tube, which is kind of dangerous because it's hard, but I think I can do it. Alright everybody, thanks so much for sticking with me. So this is my finished 1940s retro 50s maybe bride makeup tutorial. Once again, this is just my interpretation of it. It's by no means perfect because I don't know, I wasn't there in the 40s. But anyway, hopefully this helps you out. Hopefully you try it, and maybe you'll use it. I think I'll probably go maybe something like this for my wedding. We'll see what happens. But I really like this look for just a classic bride. So I also want to say that if you are looking for more ideas for different bridal looks, that you should check out Elle's makeup channel. She's one of my friends on here, and I will put the link somewhere on the screen for you to go see, because she's got a lot of bride tutorials right now that are really good. She's like an actual makeup artist and does an awesome job. So I highly recommend to check her out. But thank you so much for watching this video, you guys, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye.